Right, okay, so it's part 2 of my drawing. So whether or not you can remember where I got to last night, I've managed to add a few more layers around the eye. So I mean, for the moment, I'm happy with it. But when I get to the end and it's all complete, then I will go over and to see if there's any more layers that's needed to sort of bring it up again, and also to see how it compares to the rest of the drawing. So tonight I'm going to be working mainly around here, and then we'll see where we get, and then maybe I'll see if I can get through on that part there. So I'm going to start by layering up greys, because I'm going to get the greys down underneath first of all, and then what's going to happen is I'm going to add the whites onto the top, so that you can see that the dark colour coming through. So I'm going to add some texture, and again it's going the way of the fur. So there's like next to no layers on this part, so it sounds quite loud and scratchy. So I'm just going to bring the grey. This is a Polychromos Cold Grey 3, so because it's a darker grey than the cold grey one. So what this is probably going to need is quite a few layers. So I'll add this in, and then I'll go over it with the white, and then what happens is after that I'll see where we're at and then do some more grey and just keep layering it up until the tooth's disappeared on the surface. And I'm referring here to my reference photo beside me, and also I've got the picture as well on my iPad to the right of me, and I'm zoomed in, focusing on that detail that I want to concentrate on tonight. So we're going through the scrappy ugly stage again, and it's just all about building the layers and being patient. Okay, so that's a bit of grey, and then I'm gonna, the Pablo white tends to sort of lay down a lot easier than the Polychromos white, so that's what I'm going for, the Pablo white. So I'm just gonna follow this path, where the way the fur goes. Some of it's got more detail than the other. So just going the way that the fur goes. I can see from this part, whilst this looks like there's going to be warm greys, and it looks like there's going to be a sky blue part in there as well. And I added some of that into the eye area last night. don't want to do is make it look like there's loads of lines on it. So it's just, like I explained last night, you just need to make sure you're going with your tonal values. I mean, some of the parts of the fur does stand out a lot more than the others, but not all of it is fine detail. And so this part of the nose, while some bits of the fur is quite straight, other bits seem to have like a short sort of curl to it. So it's going to take a lot of layering on this part, but it'll be worth it. I'm just going to go back in the cold grey 3 before I start adding warm greys. Right, I think, yeah, I'm going to need to sharpen my pencil. Looks like I would need to be replacing this one again quite soon. I'm thinking as well with this one, it's probably going to need a bit of indigo in there as well for the darker parts. Right, sharpen the white Pablo. Sometimes round circles is also really good on here to get a more refined line. Also closes in a tooth as well of the paper. So I really want to build up the white part as much as I can, because the grey part looks like it's like closer to the skin. This bit probably will need at the top a luminance sepia 10%, because it seems to have a bit of a grey browny tinge to it. So I'll add some of that in a moment. Right, just get the brush to sort of refine those lines, dull them down a bit. And then I can just build it up again. I think this area is probably going to take a bit longer than I anticipated, but that's fine. I can do an update again tomorrow to see where I've got. We can look at the next section. Because this part around here is going to need a lot of building up as well. So is this bit here, because it's quite a fluffy look to it, the part of the eyebrow. It's going to need other colours in it as well. So again, I'm just sort of kind of mapping it all out. And doing the circle movement actually adds a bit of texture to it, so it doesn't look so flat. Because although he's got quite a sort of like a messy kind of face, he's a cute little fur baby, but it looks, some of the fur looks quite flat, but there's also a lot of texture in there as well. I think before I put the luminance on, just going to add a bit of grey under there. It's going to go upwards, so it fits underneath the white. I think that might need a darker layer, darker colour. I'm going to go for the warm grey 6, see what that does. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so it's got a faint line from there going down. It's surrounded by white. Right, just going to add a bit of the luminance sepia 10%, just to see if I can get a bit more layer and a bit more coverage on there, a bit more texture. And again, I'm doing the round circles and not a lot of pressure on it as well, because if you do too much pressure then you're limited of how many layers you can add, and you could end up getting to the point where you can't add any more layers and you're not where you want to be. Okay, so I am going to blend that and then build up on this bit as well. So I'm going to do the white again on top of this just to build it up, and then I'm going to add some more of this colour to the outline, the edge part there, and then it looks like it might have a bit of sky blue, you know, for good measure on that one. And I have to go careful because I don't want to make it look too muddy. But this bit is kind of one of the more softer areas. So let's see what this paintbrush can do. So it's blended it down a bit. Let's see what this white polychromos can do. Just sharpen it. Okay. Might be able to get some fine detail. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's faint on there, but it's not as good as the Pablo. But I'll see what I can carry on with this. See what I can do with it. Right. Yeah, I think it's going to need the Pablo. But I'll see if I can do a layer with this. Yeah, no, it's not laying down very well. Okay, so let's go back to the Pablo. It's nice and soft. That's much better. All right. Some more polychromos. Yep. So it looks slightly darker on here. Just add some more tone to it. Right. Okay. There's a bit of grey in this part here. I think I'm going to have to sort of go around that part. Yeah, I'm going to have to go around that part for the blacky grey part. All right. Polychromos black. So yeah, when you sort of add certain colours, you have to sort of keep going back to it and, you know, building up in the same area. So sometimes it's going to take a bit of a while to do this part. But I'm sure it'll look fine once it's done. Yeah, very safe. Okay. Right. So, just a short video this evening. So what I will do is I will carry on with this bit this evening. It's gonna, looks like it's gonna take a bit of a while to bring up the textures. So I will film another section again tomorrow. You'll be able to see this part would have progressed, and then we can sort of move on to the next part.